Toilet time is thinking time, our little prologue. There are more people than you'd think who, during their private business, suddenly develop a surprising thirst for knowledge. In the old days, you'd grab a newspaper either openly carried into the restroom or smuggled in under the radar of office life. And if nothing else was within reach, you'd settle for the back of a toilet cleaner bottle, as long as there was something to read. Then came Apple, and with one small device that fits in your palm, the bathroom became a gateway to a new era. Access to the world of knowledge while seated, with Wi-Fi, and a swipe of the thumb. Thanks to smartphones and their glowing siblings, this often taboo moment of letting go can now be transformed into a moment of learning. And that's where we come in. Our mission is simple but bold: to plant seeds of philosophical thought in this quiet time, short, sharp, and entertaining, so you leave not just relieved, but enlightened, ready to sparkle in your next conversation like a freshly cleaned sink. This little intro comes before every episode. Of course, you're welcome to skip straight to the content. But for those already seated comfortably, happy relieving and enjoy the ride. Freedom, or why even anarchists set their alarm clocks. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're talking about a subject that affects all of us, but that very few truly understand: freedom. Or, more precisely, the illusion of freedom. Let's be honest. Who among you truly feels free? Like, really free? No obligations, no rules, no taxes, no alarm clock, no boss, no diet, no gym contract, no Instagram algorithm whispering what to think next. Yeah. Welcome to the real world. A lot of people confuse freedom with the absence of rules. "I'm free when no one tells me what to do" is the favorite mantra of the impulsive individualist. But that's nonsense with, quote, potential. Freedom is not the absence of rules. Freedom is the conscious choice of which rules you follow. Or as Jean-Jacques Rousseau, slightly modernized, might say, man is born free and then spends 45 years in an open-plan office. What we need to understand is this: there's a big difference between rules imposed from the outside and rules we freely choose to follow out of conviction. Freedom is not chaos. Freedom is the result of insight. The great German philosopher G.W.F. Hegel put it like this: freedom is the insight into necessity. Sounds dry? Sure, but in practice, it's simple. You don't have to do your taxes. But if you don't, you'll soon be very free of your money, your apartment, and your credit score. The anarchist's alarm clock. Let's take the anarchist as an example. He rejects all forms of state coercion. He's against authority, against hierarchy, against regulations. And yet, even he sets an alarm clock in the morning. Why? Because he has a job, or a meeting, or simply likes drinking coffee at 8 a.m. Even the anarchist submits voluntarily to a rule, his own rule. Which brings us to Immanuel Kant. Enlightenment is man's emergence from his self-imposed immaturity. Immaturity means following rules simply because you're told to. Maturity means understanding them and choosing them freely. Cat videos and the question of freedom. We live in a time where a single swipe opens up the entire world. Thanks to Apple, Android, and company, the toilet is no longer just a place of silence, it's a temple of information. Instead of reading chemical labels on toilet cleaner, we now scroll through Wikipedia articles on quantum physics. Or watch endless cat videos. So the question becomes, what are we actually doing with our freedom? Friedrich Nietzsche would say, freedom is the privilege of the strong. Because freedom demands responsibility. When you're free, you can't blame others anymore. If you think for yourself, you must also decide for yourself. Cafeteria philosophy. These ideas are great for everyday conversations, whether in the cafeteria, at a family dinner, or at a party where someone boldly proclaims, "I do whatever I want." That's your cue to smile and say, "Oh, really? So do you also cross red lights, walk into libraries naked, or file your taxes on toilet paper?" Because if everyone does whatever they want, freedom quickly turns into hell, ruled by the loudest, the strongest, and the most shameless. Conclusion: freedom is like a good espresso. Small, strong, and best when you dose it yourself. Or, as a wise person once said, the free person is not the one who can do whatever they want, but the one who wants what they do. So, choose your rules wisely, follow them with purpose, and don't underestimate the power of a toilet break to spark enlightenment. Because true freedom begins in the mind, often while sitting down. Thank you. One spark a day. No noise, no pressure, just one thought that lingers. If this moment gave you something, maybe the next one is already waiting. Subscribe for a daily spark.